What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Showtime. It's Blaze King. Kritiques. We're back with Hikaru, and this is indeed the second to last episode. And well, hopefully, we get some things revealed to us that we were not aware of beforehand. But to recap a little bit about the last episode, because I'm not sure exactly how it's going to be uploaded in the future, because I have so many videos to do editing for these cut up things, as well as to go up on the orange side. So we'll see how this all goes. But for now, however, we're going to do the recap bit of, in the last episode, they were in the hospital after what happened with Takana, and, well, they're thinking maybe he's not that bad of a guy, because he definitely would have finished Hikaru off if he was there to take care of him, right? Right. Ray had figured that he was probably from that company. What company? Who knows? Suppose maybe that's a thing that will also be answered. Maybe not, but who knows? And then Hikaru got back up some of his memories from going to his family shrine, as he was told to do by Takeda. However, he hasn't got back every memory. So what are they to do? My idea is go back to the mountain and find out what happened. Will that be what they do? Who knows? But that said, let the video run through, let me get the watch time, hit the like button, subscribe, because all that is highly appreciated and helpful and stuff. And let's get into, hopefully, some more answers. Alright, and the end of the last episode, we also saw, Hikaru visit Yoshiki in the middle of the night and see the warm glow of his spirit and almost be brought into it. However, he decided to retreat instead. Thank you for those subtitles, Netflix. This is one of those intros where it's like, the music is okay. The animation in the intro is really pretty and really cool and all that. So, musically, The actual intro, pretty good. It's one of those things where, if you enjoy the intro, go watch it officially on YouTube if you're able to feed more of that hot money into people, because they deserve it for the work they've done. But, my rulings on things. That is completely understandable for why he's, so accepting of Hikaru right now. He's always liked the monsters more. Which, also an understandable opinion, because I've always, at least in recent history, I've always been kind of the villains do not win enough in fantasy or media. I mean, 99% of the time when you see an anime or a TV show or movie or something, the hero wins. Honestly, overdone. Boring. Take a show like Platinum End. The villain technically didn't win, but neither did the heroes. Platinum End definitely had a shark jump moment, just its sister series Death Note, where, the shark got jumped. But unlike in Death Note, where the heroes technically won, nobody won at the end of Platinum End. From what I recall, the entire planet just... Because, it was an okay show. But at least it had an ending that was, not a happy one. They start on their happy ending, your main couple boffed, this person, that person were living their dreams, and then the person that actually got the title of God was like, you know what? Fuck all of you. And just Thanos snapped them. Definitely need more endings like that where either the villain wins or technically nobody does. Depending on what the villain wants, of course. When it's a case where, the villain actually wants the worst kind of thing imaginable. Take, for instance, a Griffith from Guts kind of character, to where they're just, the most unimaginable level of scumbag. Yeah, that's one thing where obviously a villain can lose. But if it's, in a Tachi situation, where he just wants to stick everybody into an endless paradise, is that really so bad? Yeah, this is probably really awkward for him, Because if he hasn't talked to his dad in like an extremely long time about something serious, how's he gonna get it across when he has to talk to him about something serious, especially pertaining to these like mountain spirits and stuff? Where did you hear about the Indo Sin? Just some research. No, nowhere specific. Just let me know. Not that bad, is it? See, well, you both agreed that your sons wouldn't carry that burden. Little fucking late for that. Okay, so that was the original point it happened, I guess, was like some great grandfather, whatever, of the family, went, hey, here's my wife's head. Can you bring her back, please? And the spirits were like, alright, you're not gonna like it. Okay, that's a lot of people for that you're not gonna like it statement. I think this one, probably the weirdest. Because, like, that literally is Thanos style. It's like, you're just sitting there talking to somebody, they're having lunch together or whatever, then just head gone. So that's what the Hichi is the great grandmother. Lovely. I will say it kind of feels similar to how Yoshiki does, as he hates how similar he is to his father, only for his father to come back with that. But honestly, I get it, because I hate how similar I'm becoming to my father. Because during the, last handful of years of his life, I just hated that man so much, and I still hate what he was at the end of his life to a very high degree. I always remember that he was like a great person for a majority of his life. It's just like the last 5 to 10 years or so, wasn't it? And I really hate that I have a lot of mannerisms that, are similar to his. But that's also why I try to, like, not do certain things. Like, I don't try to get medication for the mental shit I have going on. Because what if, similar to how, pain medication was abused, I can abuse mental medication for a similar reason, and it's not good for me long term if I do that, so I rather avoid it. Like, I don't know if people can overdose on mental meds and, have a seizure or something. I would rather not risk it. Because, the man was fucking painted with the word addiction, and there are a lot of things I can admit I'm addicted to. I mean, I always have some sort of soda on screen, pretty much. Every once in a while I'll have, a Life Water or something. But, I'm definitely addicted to soda. That much I can admit. Can you call marijuana an addiction? I've never had a high response in any emotional regard to it in a negative fashion, so I don't think so. I always say that it does help clear my head, which is a little true. I can still stay pretty angry even after, smoking a little bit, but at least it's not like, you take a couple pills and then your head's clear for hours, but you also might not have your own level of thinking, depending. I do know I kind of feel with Yoshiki on that, but his dad's actually, a good person. Though, I will say, if I ever, had a random dream and, his dumbass said those kind of things to me, not only would I have the immediate thought of no shit, but maybe I'd take that a little bit more to heart. Because, most of my dreams are either, borderline nightmarish or dreaming of things that will never happen, and then they turn into nightmares. Crazy how that works, right? I had a dream once where, I was actually spending, a day, a night, an evening, whatever, with a woman, hang out with somebody else, family, I think. And then shit just kind of went downhill from there. Good thing I don't dream much. Yeah, that actually looks weirdly like what happens when the spirit gets let out of Hikaru. Gehenna. Isn't Gehenna an Indian god? like Indian god. I know that's wrong to put it that way, but like, yeah, like a lot of consideration. But yeah, right? And like, not a bad one per se. Yeah, he's getting fuzzy like a TV screen from an old VHS player. And by the way, if anyone's young enough to not know what a VHS thing, it used to be these things we called tapes. Go back, go find the horror movie VHS, and you'll know what they are. Actually, you know what? Scratch that. Don't watch that. The first couple of minutes of the movie are very stressing. So like they're basically these tapes that you like put inside this thing, kind of like a DVD player but fatter. And if you don't know what a DVD player is, look at your game system. Basically that. Oh, well that's probably not good. Yeah, that's kind of a rock in a hard place. Your possessed, reincarnated friend is now chasing you down with questionable intent, and your friends are coming up the stairs. So like you have them down here and him here and you're here and you're also probably pretty fucked. Oh. Hmm. Hey, to be fair, you had your hand right inside of that thing before and didn't mind. So, well, at least he realized what he was doing before it became too serious. Part of me is questioning whether, there's probably going to be some turn like this in Watanabe coming up, because while it was revealed that Shiori wasn't actually having the intentions to eat Hisako, does not mean something crazy won't happen. Also, small pause. I hate to bring up another depressing topic, but the statement "somewhere he belongs" actually high key just brings up the fact that, like, man, Chester really was putting it out there for a long time before it actually happened. Like, listening to a bunch of the shit while editing yesterday kind of told me that, and, like, I'm not gonna say I'm ever gonna be, like, talented, but I kind of vibe with that, because, like, I state the shit in a very obvious manner, but I'm also trying to put out very good and, helpful tips to people on how they can live their lives better. Because I can't do it for myself, but I can sure as hell tell other people that it'd be a good thing to, fight back against, people treating you like shit and whatnot. Sorry, I know that might have, like, brought back something depressing to some people, but sometimes you actually have to listen to what people are saying and do your best to help them. And, like, the ways to help me, most of them are simple. Free. Is it a guarantee to help me in my mental state? No. But it's better than not. Him going to see Ray by himself? Wonder if he has some things to discuss. Hopefully he's not gonna, like, do something questionable. And ask him a question that he's aware of. And again, Yoshiki could just go, they could live in the mountains together. Just enjoy whatever's left of their respective lives. He's a spirit of some kind, whether it be that god or not. So if it does help, they could just live out their days in the mountains. Just a very defeated thump on the table, which again, understandable. I've had a lot of times where someone has told me something I said was bullshit, and I've just right on the table. Yeah, I say characters are relatable a lot. Denji being one of them. But other than, like, the side that's into his best friend, I kind of vibe with how the spirit within Hikaru feels, because, being alone sucks. It's not the path you want in life. People who say they're happy being alone, most of them are lying, or have already achieved everything they want to in life otherwise, so it doesn't matter. But people need companionship. People need somebody with them. One person or many people. It depends on the vibe. Like I said, he would probably be just as happy to have Yoshiki with him up in them mountains if they can keep everybody else safe. But if he was just there by himself, maybe he'd lose his fucking mind again and want to come back to walk among the humans. Hopefully whatever she's considering doing isn't going to bite her in the ass. Was that the manager from that company paying her a visit? Oh, man. Well, we're here at the finale. So it comes down to what's going to happen. Is he going to go back to the mountains by himself, even though she said that's not a guarantee? Is Yoshiki going to go with him so he's not alone? So, like, if it is a guarantee, then it'll all be fine. Was the woman that visited Ray the one who's in charge of that company that Takane is part of? Lots of things to bring up. And while on the one end, Yoshiki is trying to find a passive solution for what happened, will he be able to do that before some shit hits the fan? Because it is the last episode of the season, maybe even the series. So, does shit hit the fan? Are more people going to die? Are they going to figure out some sort of passive resolution after some sort of big ordeal? Let me know your thoughts on all that in the comment section down below. Let me know of any other shows, movies, etc. I should check out this season, next season, or in general. Please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the gaming channel, ring both bells like Facebook, follow Twitter, and Blue Sky, keep updated with things. TikTok, Patreon, you have the full unedited versions and full versions at that. And go follow on Twitch, subscribe for benefits, can do so Twitch Prime for free. Helps me out immensely for the temporary, thus for the long term. Until next time, been the Blazer King with King's Critiques. Ta-ta for now. Peace.